I 4x my money in just over a year. No crypto, no hype plays, and no options. Just a stock that everyone thought was boring, but the crazy part is that, to me, it was obvious. Every single sign showed that this was a winning play, but nobody took advantage of it. While everyone was looking at AI or meme stocks, I was looking at this company that kept growing quarter after quarter, revenue growing at 30% year over year, steady, exponential profitability, and a track record that just couldn't be ignored. In this video, I'll show you exactly what I saw, the fundamentals, the metrics, and why it was so painfully obvious that this stock was undervalued. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I think most people just ignore the simple stuff that actually matters. So before I tell you what this company is, let's go back to when everyone thought this was a dead stock. During the 2021 bubble, the stock hit an all-time high of $28, and less than 2 years after that, it hit $4. Now, I started looking at the stock mid-2024 when it was in the 7s and the 8s, and sometimes the 6s. During this time period, analysts were downgrading the stock. It was dropping after earnings despite triple beating, and there were plenty of articles about not just trimming, but getting out of this stock. Now, you probably know which stock I'm talking about if you've watched any of my previous videos, but the stock I'm talking about today is SoFi. Ever since they went public mid-2021, the stock has never missed a single earnings. They've always beaten on EPS and they've always beaten on revenue. Growing consistently at 30% and now reaching 40%. To this day, I don't understand how SoFi was so undervalued. Management even gave their 2026 guidance of a high of 80 cents EPS for 2026. Now, SoFi are notorious for beating expectations every single time. So I don't understand why analyst expectations for this stock were always so low. Considering their growth rate of 30% every single year, at an expected EPS of 80 cents, it's reasonable to say that SoFi was worth at least $24 a share if we use the price to earnings ratio, if not more. They've proven that they can consistently grow at least 30%, and I believe that they'll be able to do this over the next coming years, especially with interest rates decreasing. You can see here, I started buying SoFi in the 7s, and I didn't stop. I knew the stock was undervalued and that I wouldn't have much time to buy more shares. So every time I was able to put money into my brokerage, I bought SoFi when it was in the 7s, when it was in the 6s, when it was in the 8s, and even when it was in the 12s, until it started its run at the end of 2024. Now let me take you through another investment I found that's similar to SoFi back when it was in the 7s and 8s last year. That stock is Shift4 Payments, a stock that I've added even more to than my initial SoFi position. Almost 11,000 versus the 8,000 that I put into SoFi. Now, I wouldn't say that I have more conviction in this stock, but rather I just have more capital to invest in this stock compared to last year when I was investing in SoFi. This stock almost replicates SoFi last year. Management have stated a 30% growth rate over the next 3 years. Now, although they don't beat every single time, management are pretty consistent. And in fact, they've been growing at 30% for years and years and years. If we take that same logic we applied to SoFi and applied it to Shift4, we can take their next year earnings of $6.85 and multiply that by 25, just because they aren't as consistent as SoFi when beating earnings. If we do that, we get a share price of $171. Shift4 is currently sitting at around $70, with my average price being $83. So we're looking at about a double from where we stand today, and not including the 30% growth year over year that they're able to consistently maintain and that they've guided for the next 3 years. So this has been my general investment philosophy. We find good deals, companies that have good balance sheets, good earnings potential, and we invest heavily into them. At the moment, in my portfolio, I only have 4 stocks, with my highest convictions being in SoFi and Shift4. Now, SoFi has obviously already went on this massive run, but I believe that in the next 5 years, we'll easily get to $100. Now with Shift4, I've already explained my thesis for it. But what's crazy is that in the next 5 years, Shift4 is a potential 10x opportunity from its prices today. We can find this by looking at their EPS estimates for 2026 and extrapolating that over the next 5 years with a growth rate of 30%. If we do that, we find that they reach about $25 per share in earnings, multiplied by a PE ratio of 25, and we get a share price of $625. Now, I can't predict the future, so I wouldn't advise you to go out and buy this stock immediately, but I'd say there's a pretty high chance of Shift4 doing very well over the next few years. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you'd like me to dive deeper into SoFi and Shift4, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.